Okay, this is the second video about Fistful of Toes, where we're just going to look at the rule book and discuss a few thoughts. First thing is this rule book can really put off a lot of people. There are this one's Fistful of Toes 3, Modern Mechanised Armoured Warfare from 1915 to 2015. Now, there is an update to this to take it to 2020, which I haven't actually got. Now, if we look at these rules, there are 452 pages. Now, a lot of this, in fact, the vast majority of this book is all the sort of the armies. So if we take it a little bit further, so we look at something like this. This will give you, for example, Soviet Guards Infantry Regiment, July 42 to December 42, and it gives you all the actual toe, really, of all the actual models and what it actually comprises of. There's tons of this, and obviously it goes all the way back to 1915 and all the way forward to 2020. Once you've got that and decided what vehicles and things you're going to actually deploy, you've then got all your charts, which give you your information, which we'll go through in a lot more detail later. Now, for example, this would be German assault guns and tank destroyers. The book's split up into Second World War. Well, not actually Second World War. It goes to 1915 to 1950 and 1950 to 2020, just to make it easier to reference if you're going to fight a particular historical period. There's tables for vehicles, specific vehicles, for generic vehicles like trucks, jeeps. There's information available on all the different artillery types that you may come across. Stuff like artillery data chart. In 1950, you've got your infantry charts as well for all the different types of infantry groups. Now this looks really detailed, and it is, but it's not complicated because everything follows the same set of rules. Another thing to remember about these rules, there's a lot of stuff that is a bit fluffy. You know, there's this miniature wargaming section at the start. So that's 27 pages, which is pretty much irrelevant to what you want to do. You've got introduction, what you need to play, you know, stuff, what scale it is, what using tape measures, etc. So this is all pretty straightforward. And when you look at the actual modules that it's split into, just look at the way information's portrayed. It's really large. So a single page hasn't necessarily got that much information on it. Unlike a lot of rule sets you see where they got double columns on each page and it's absolutely packed tight. This isn't like that. Another thing to remember with this one is there's not many illustrations and things, which is a bit of a shame. I could do with some at least a few more black and white illustrations, but it's not, it only becomes complicated the more and more modules we put into this. So this first game I'm going to play, there's no aircraft, no helicopters, no chemical weapons, no nuclear weapons, there's no off-board artillery, so that sort of whittles it down to make it a lot easier to play. But we'll be looking at a lot of that. It's really just going to be infantry, fighting vehicles, tanks, and some self-propelled artillery support groups on both sides. And you've got different types of infantry, nothing spectacular. So it's going to be a lot easier playing it like that than trying to play it with all the modules.